I've always been, even as a boy, I was called Bushman. It has followed me for over 40 years. It's just because I was good in the bush. I was about 12 years old. That's about the time I moved to Williams Lake. And I went to junior high here. When I was 13, I worked for a local rancher. But I left Williams Lake not quite 15. But I left here on horseback. And I rode to Calgary and south of Calgary. Back then, Highway 24, what is known now, was just a gravel road trail, logging trail. I returned to Williams Lake in 2002. For one, I had to be under house arrest for a while to answer to my crimes, which is no problem. I answered to them. If anything, the court can say I admitted guilt right up front and tried to save them money. But they refused to accept it and said I must have a lawyer and continue through that way. You asked why I would run for mayor this time. I tried the last civic, but I was late with my paperwork. Unfortunately, I was trucking somewhere, and getting it here on time was not possible. So I said, well, I'll try the next time. And I got my paperwork early, and I'm in the process of proceeding with it, and then when it's ready, I'll hand it in.
Are you qualified to be mayor?
What would disqualify me? On top of that, I feel I have an open mind, and I can be non-biased and look at the appropriate decision. I have no support as far as business or public otherwise, so I can't, people can't come along and say, well, we helped you, now we need a favor. So I don't want to be stuck in that spot. It says, okay, you want something, let's do it the right way, and go from there.
How do you plan to run your campaign? Most people do door knocking. How do you plan to get the word out to the public that you would like to be mayor?
The interesting part about all that, years ago we didn't have things like Facebook and Twitter and all these things, and most people who have a computer or even a notebook or the iPhone are on Facebook, and sooner or later they see stuff, and then they say, oh, this is good, or they say, this is bad. You know, it's and I'm just going to leave it to the people to decide. Now, I have a personal policy with politics. Poly is a Latin word meaning many, and ticks is a blood-sucking insect. So when you put politics together, that's what you have. And I'm afraid that's how people across the country, whether it's civic, provincial, or federal, feel that that's what it is. If they knew that those words, what they meant, they feel like you're being sucked dry. And there's no need for that. People put you in place for them. By the people, for the people, those terms have long since been haven't been used in a long time. Would a big business support me? I don't know. But will public support me? That again, I don't know. But I can't be biased to, I have to be non-biased to all what's around me, and take it for a grain of salt, and do what's right, not what somebody has paid me to want.
What realistically do you think your chances are of winning the bid for mayor?
Well, I'm going to leave that to, let's find out.
If elected, what are some of the things that you would do to improve the city?
I think one of the things I would try to help improve is become friends with the gangs here. There's a lot of gangs here. So become friends with them and find out what they can do to help. You know, we look at gangs, oh, they're all bad people. It doesn't, you know, whether they're good to begin with, the word gang seems to have a bad taste in a lot of people. So if I can take some of these bad gangs and work together with them, you know, things would improve and the crime rate would drop. You know, I mean, if there might be somebody there who's good with, you know, painting walls or you know, graffiti. We can use people like that in some place that's a value to them and to everybody else. If they're good at stealing cars, maybe they're good at fixing them too. So maybe we can find them an apprentice or mechanic, you know, get them going the other way and have a little more pride in themselves.
What will you say to the naysayers, to the people who have a completely negative attitude about you running for mayor?
Well, that's all right too. You know, there will be people who will have negative views, and there'll be people who have positive views. But again, if we can find a middle ground between the two, things will work out.
You hadn't announced yet. So yesterday when the media started contacting you, it took you by surprise. How did you find out?
Yeah, I just put it on Facebook just to, as an exploratory, see what would happen next. And it's just gone ballistic. The sharing of the photographs and the site has gone crazy. People have showing their likes, and there's a few that's even showing their dislikes. But it surprised me how quickly it expanded. I mean, I have to attribute that to my past. To most people who knew me as the Bushman, remain to call me the Bushman even now. And it doesn't seem to matter where I go. Could be Kelowna, Calgary, or people recognize me from that time frame. Life is an adventure. If you don't try it, you'll never know where you're going to go next.